Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Pramj and welcome back to a brand new video. Now, what for you guys today is a video that I definitely was not planning on making until about 2 days ago. I was making the rounds at my used bookstores where I usually look for manga deals, and I happened to stumble upon a very interesting volume of manga, that being the first volume of Resident Evil. Now, I knew that there was a Resident Evil manga out there, and I knew that this whole set goes for a pretty decent price, so I decided to pick it up. But after I got home, I was looking at the volume, and I said, you know what? I gotta make a video on this. You know, with the release of the new Resident Evil game, Resident Evil Village, with some very viral moments and characters specifically, I thought this would be a fun little video to do, so I read this first volume, and today in this video I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the first volume of the Resident Evil manga. So if you guys do enjoy this video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. Also, if you're shopping on Right Stuf, then make sure to use my affiliate link, which will be linked down in the description below. You get manga for an amazing price and also help support the channel. And while you're down there, make sure to join the Discord. A lot of fun to be had on there, and you definitely do not want to miss out. But without any further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, so the first thing to note about this series is that on the back, as you can see here, it says the prequel to Resident Evil 6. Now, as for my personal history with the video games, I've only ever played 4. In fact, I've been kind of speedrunning the game actually. I've been practicing a little bit less than I'd like to admit recently. But yeah, I have a little bit of knowledge about the Resident Evil franchise. I've seen gameplay of the first couple games, obviously played the 4th to completion, and I also watched FaZe Jev play through Resident Evil 7 Biohazard way back in the day, so even though that's kind of different from the entire storyline of Resident Evil, I guess I have that bit of experience as well. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that Resident Evil 5 and 6 are kind of regarded as the weaker titles in the entire franchise, as they kind of go off into a different direction and have a cast of completely new characters. Again, I'm not too knowledgeable on these games. That's just kind of what I've heard from the community. Yeah, I guess that this manga series is a prequel to Resident Evil 6, which kind of explains why I wasn't too familiar with any of the characters, I guess. But yeah, actually getting into the manga, on the very first page, we're greeted with a very nice, mysterious color page with the classic Resident Evil. Guys, they said the name of the series in the book. Immediately followed by a couple other color pages where this girl goes up to this other girl who actually turns out to be a zombie reading a book. Kind of makes you wonder, what exactly was this girl reading that turned her into a zombie? Probably Appleseed. This little scene kind of gets me into the first thing that I really enjoyed about this volume, is that it doesn't take itself too seriously. This first volume definitely stays true to the feel of the Resident Evil video games. Obviously, they can be scary with the whole, zombies and horror aspect and stuff like that. But at the same time, there are just some absolutely goofy moments that you just can't look past.
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
You're right.
And that's why I think Resident Evil is so popular. Obviously, there are a bunch of horror games that are very popular, but Resident Evil just has a certain charm to it that I think is really appealing and can definitely be found with its kind of comedy, whether it's intentional or not. But getting into the actual story, everything gets started off on a college campus where we have Professor Wright and his nephew Ricky. Professor Wright is a professor in science and engineering, and Ricky is a student there who seems to be a little bit of an aloof slacker, really doesn't pay attention in his uncle's class. And basically, Professor Wright gets a letter in the mail from Mother Gracia, who is the headmaster at this very secluded private school out in the middle of Asia, as there seems to be a little bit of trouble on campus, as we come to find out is the zombie outbreak, as a couple of students have turned into zombies. So after a long drive through the jungle, the two finally arrive at Marhawa Academy, I believe is the name of the school, and they're quickly greeted by the student council president and the vice president, Bindi and Alyssa, who just happen to show a lot of interest in our main man, Ricky, which is, good for him. And then it's revealed that Mother Gracia was a former girlfriend of Professor Wright, so they've known each other for a bit, but have recently grown apart as they've aged. But now she's called for him to basically find out what is the root of this zombie outbreak and, snuff it before it becomes a biohazard and the school's reputation becomes ruined. After that, we get some action shots of the BSAA, which is the Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance, I believe is the acronym of that. And I'm taking a guess here, but I'm assuming that these are the main characters of Resident Evil 6, but again, I do not know. It's during these action shots where the crew is, just slaying these zombies that really occurred to me, like, the art in this manga is actually really well done. The action and the zombies are very well done, as well as just the regular stuff, the regular faces are very cleanly drawn. And I also got to mention the little bit of fan service that we get in this first volume. No complaints from this guy. And the other thing that occurred to me in this action sequence is that pistols actually do damage in this manga, unlike the video games. So I won't really get into the plot events following this point because then we start getting into spoiler territory. I'm doubting that the majority of you guys watching this video, were anxiously looking forward to reading the Resident Evil manga, but still, I'm just going to avoid spoilers for this video. But basically, by the end of this volume, Professor Wright and Ricky are completely cut off from the outside world. They have no communication, and these zombies are beginning to spread at a more rapid rate than when they got there. And the big thing that really surprised me about this first volume in particular is that I actually really want to see how the story progresses. When I bought this volume at my used store, I saw it recognizing it was from a rare manga series, so I picked it up because it was pretty cheap. But I thought, I'm probably not going to read this, and even if I did, a video game manga can't possibly be good, can it? And I just might have to eat my words because I really did enjoy the first volume. Even though the plot seems to be somewhat simple, it is pretty interesting, and there's a lot of mystery still surrounding the contents of what I've seen from this first volume. There's this mysterious cloaked figure with this weird cube that looks like it turns people into zombies, but we don't know how it happens. The headmaster, Mother Gracia, is also very mysterious with her motives, as she seems way more concerned with maintaining the reputation of her school, which she calls her own sanctuary, than she is with, this actual looming threat of a biohazard and, the safety of her students. And the first volume ends right when they're going to go into this room full of zombies with axes and weapons, you just can't do that to me and expect me not to want to keep reading. Now, like I've mentioned a couple times, this manga can actually be pretty expensive. I'm not sure exactly the price ranges of the volumes. I think around $50 for the rest of them. But part of me has actually been considering hunting down these volumes, making this the next series, next rare series that I try and hunt down for a good price, because I'm definitely interested, and if I can't find those volumes, I might still end up reading it online. Now, was this first volume the best manga that I've ever read? No, by any stretch of the imagination. This is definitely not the best manga that I've ever read, but it was just so fun to read. It was a very quick read, very fast-paced, with that classic Resident Evil charm, made it very enjoyable to read, and of course it left off at a very high point, so I really want to know what happens next. It's a pretty short series, I believe 4 volumes long. So yeah, not too much of a commitment, again, a very quick read. So I'll probably end up reading the entirety of the series one way or another, whether it be the physical books or online. Usually when video games get adapted into other media such as, manga or especially movies, they're not always of the highest quality, but what I can say is that I really enjoyed this first volume of the Resident Evil manga. Anyways guys, that's going to do it for this video, talking about the first volume of the Resident Evil manga, which I really enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever played any of the video games, especially the new one, or if you've read this Resident Evil manga, which is a little bit more obscure, but if you have, definitely let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave it a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. So yeah, this has been The Prodigy. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and as always, hope to catch you in the next one.